minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure foe. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat pro. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Introducing the Ballin' Bud 703 Boys Crew, Clubber D, Dirty Mojo, Shane Peach, and the Sports Professor. Welcome to Sunday Showdown.
Yo, what up, friends? Ballin' Buds is in the house, back at it again after a successful night last night with our boxing stream. Shout out to Papi Chuneo for joining Clubber D and I. And we have another friend joining us tonight, which is going to be for our college football expert bracket predictions. We got Lamar Dirty Mojo Lane from Sunday Showdown. Make sure you tune in with us every Sunday, 6:15, 7:15 Eastern, after the night games, after the day games, before the night games. And as well, we have Canteen and the Stat Man from the Bottom Line Sports. My brother, how you doing, my friend?
Man, glad to be with you guys tonight. Make some good predictions. Let's talk some football. Let's move into the CFP postseason, fellas. Let's do it. Let's do it, brother.
Let's do it. And everybody make sure that you tap in with everyone here. Again, Canteen is at the Bottom Line Sports there with Flo. Dirty Mojo, he will always remain elusive. He does not want to be found. And
wait. My thing is right there. Instagram, Dirty Mojo.
I just keep messing with you. I tagged you already. And last but not least, Clubber D, the Combat G. You can find his YouTube at Clubber D at that QR code right up there at the top. Go there. It has all of Ballin' Buds social medias. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube at Ballin' Buds, BALLAND BUDS. Hit that like button, whether watching now or on the replay. It is free to you, but invaluable to us. Clubber D, how did you feel about that boxing show last night?
It was fun. It I like chopping it up. I like Yayo's perspective on a lot of stuff, but I gotta I understand where he's coming from, but you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to Jake Paul. Okay. Yes, he's a troll. Yes, he's that, this and that. The weigh-in was a joke today, but it's okay. He's gonna get knocked out tomorrow. All right. But just tune into the good female fights. It's free. It's on Netflix. And I'm getting a spam risk call right now. It's probably one of my friends, but let's keep it moving. I'm not gonna name who it is. Clutch.
Clutch. That's tremendous. All right, cool. Let's keep it moving. As we do, we were going to get you into this college football playoffs. What an amazing season it has been, but we are now at the end, and we are going into the playoffs. Now, remember, obviously things have changed over the past few years. It went from the BCS, then it went to a college football playoff for 4. Now we're up to 12. So, 4 teams are going to have a bye. Indiana, the number 1 seed. Ohio State, the number 2 seed. Georgia, Canteen and Dirty Mojo's Georgia is the number 3 seed. And Texas Tech is the number 4 seed. They will get the byes. So we'll pick those games after we go through all of the first round. But we're going to go through the first round here. The games here, we're going to start with the 2 games that are most likely to not be as competitive. Oregon, number 5 Oregon versus number 12 James Madison, and number 6 Ole Miss versus number 11 Tulane. Then we will talk about number 8 Oklahoma, we'll talk about the other 2 that will be close. Number 8 Oklahoma, number 9 Alabama, and number 7 Texas A&M versus number 10 Miami, the lone ACC representative. We'll go ahead and go through. We're going to give you all of our bracket predictions. You can take it and do your little bracket pools and all that stuff. Just make sure you join good ones where they're not, you know what? I wasn't about to say. I was about to say something clever. I think you know where
I know where you're going. I know where you're going. Me and brother talked about that one today. We talked about that one. I know where you're going.
I saw the email come in and I was like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Let me take 16 off the top.
Let me take 8 free entries off the top.
Yeah.
All right,
out of my ass. No way.
Right. All right, let's get it going, y'all. Let's talk about first, since most of us here are from Virginia. Canteen, you're the lone one not. We will start with the Virginia team here first. So it's number 5 Oregon versus number 12. Yes, go ahead.
I got one thing before we start.
Please. That's good because I can bring the.
I don't know if we're gonna do a wager or anything, but do we talk about that? Are we doing a wager by any means? Not that we don't enable gambling. We're not saying you should gamble or anything like that. But if we do a hypothetical wager, is anyone down for that? Nothing crazy.
I am down.
Yeah, okay. Let's do it.
Let's remove that first because I got the other one coming up.
Wrong little 25 shekels. Who knows? Whatever.
25.
So what we can do is I sent some ideas in the group chat, but I think there was one where you just picked the whole bracket. We could just do that one and I'll throw in, 4 of the equal amounts and 5 of each, and then just let it ride out.
No, I was saying between each other, all of us, like who's gonna have the best one out of us. And,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, my bad. I thought you meant like, I don't know where my head was.
You're good. When you look at the group chat, though, I put 2 options in there that I had got, and they have like point systems and everything, so we can do either individual games or the whole thing as a whole. Gotcha. Okay. We've agreed, so we'll decide it from there, and we'll let y'all know later. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and move it in again to this first game, James Madison versus Oregon. This is Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. James Madison, a lot of people not happy with their inclusion into the CFP, specifically as we talked about on Sunday Showdown. Another shameless plug. Please turn in Sundays after the day games. Notre Dame is going to be the most mad out of that bunch. There are others that had a quarrel, if you will, as well. But James Madison was the one they chose, along with Tulane. They chose 2 group of 6 teams, and they are now going up against a very heavy hitter from the Big Ten, number 5 Oregon. And I just have to say this because this is the only team I found in this first round that was ranked in the top 10 offense and defense. So Oregon is just on another level. Anyways, let's go ahead and start with you, Clubber D. What are your thoughts on this game?
We got the underdog going against a big body school. It's one of those. It can go either way. It can be the Colt Brennan led Hawaii going against Georgia and getting smacked, or it can be the it's head coach of New Orleans, Boise State beating Oklahoma. Adrian Peterson, Kellen Moore. So it can go either way. All right, but since this is the only team representing Virginia, and that's where we're from. Not since the days of Maven winning Tough Enough has someone represented JMU like they're going to represent this week. All right?
Okay.
I'm going with JMU.
What?
I'm going with JMU.
What?
Coach is on and is doing great things, and they're still on top. So that tutelage, that recruiting, that coaching, it's still there. Okay? I'm going with upset JMU. Like it or love it.
Daniel. Daniel.
Shout out to Maven.
Daniel.
Tough Enough. WWF.
Daniel.
Jeez Louise. What? That is crazy. The first pick of the day comes from Clubber D, and it is an upset. Oh, my goodness. What is happening? Let's go ahead and show you the bracket here so you can see what we're talking about. JMU there at the top versus Oregon. Clubber D has picked the lowest seed in the bracket. That's going to be maybe if you win that'll be a great start for the bracket wagers. If you lose that, you will also be in some trouble.
I don't trust Oregon.
Shout out to whoever this is. It looks like spam actually. So.
That's why I ignored that. I was about to write something. That would have low.
Don't worry about it. Keep that moving. All right, cool. So, again, here, when we're looking at these 2 teams, JMU's defense is pretty weak, right? But their offense is pretty good. Their offense averaged 46 points a game and 7.2 yards per play in its final 7 games. So they were getting a lot of long plays, driving efficiently. But again, as I mentioned, the Ducks are in the top 10 in both offense and defense, which is going to make this very hard no matter how good your offense is. If you can't stop Oregon's offense, Dirty Mojo, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'm not even gonna hate on your pick. Be honest, that's a fun pick to look at. That's a fun pick to we love the underdog story, right? That's the classic American thing. We go for the underdog, and I do not completely disagree with it. I kind of agree with it. I think that JMU can go in here and shock the world. They are putting up a lot of points. Unfortunately, their schedule is a pretty weak schedule. Their
Right.
lone
If
loss
they were in
was
the ACC, they wouldn't even have been in 5th place. So I mean,
right. I mean, their only loss was to Louisville. I mean,
Disrespect to ACC.
Louisville actually played pretty decently this year. But for me, it goes back to Oregon. Oregon had trouble. They had to beat Penn State in double overtime when Penn State was on the ropes. They weren't no good. They did lose to Indiana, but I mean it was 30-20 Indiana game. We can decide on that one. That was a good one too. But then the Iowa game was also a low scoring 16-14 game that they did win. As far as it's concerned, depending on the traditional high powered Oregon team. If that traditional high-powered Oregon team that comes out, if you remember, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, when Liberty was the hot team and Oregon beat the shit out of Liberty.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They just showed, like, look, you guys aren't ready for this type of football yet. So is that what we're going to see? Are they going to take advantage of a smaller team that's now becoming big? But I do like what you did say, Deanna, about recruiting. Bill Napier is going to be there. He's their new head coach, right?
He is.
Could you imagine if JMU beats Oregon? What recruits from Virginia, from this area, from the DMV that are deciding to say, "Holy shit, we can go down there to JMU. He can do what we got to do." That'd be a big pickup for that program. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I still got Oregon winning this game just because of that powerhouse potential. But I think it's going to be a really good fucking game. I wouldn't surprise me if this game goes to overtime because JMU can score a lot of points. But if it gets out of hand, it's going to get out of hand very fast. I would see it go into overtime, but don't be surprised if it's 28-3 beginning of the second quarter. And it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it either way. I would love to see JMU win, right? Because obviously I don't care about Oregon and JMU's a Virginia team, so I would love to see that come true. It's just, again, as we mentioned, they will have to stop Oregon's offense, and their defense just isn't very good. So even though, and you just mentioned this, right? We talked about their offense. JMU scores touchdowns on 71.2% of their red zone trips and allows TDs on only 51.6%. So when they get in the red zone, at least their defense tightens up a little bit and makes it a little harder. So that could be something. JMU also converts 47.4% of their third downs, which ranks 18th in the nation and allows opponents just 28.7%. Fifth. So they're very good on third and fourth down as well, kind of tightening up. So they give up big plays early and then kind of tighten up when they really need to. So that's then kind of break may or may not be good. What do you think, Canty?
Hey, here's the thing about James Madison, man. They're part of the SBC East. I think they play like Georgia State, Coastal Carolina, Georgia Southern, teams of that nature, that caliber. But as Dirty Mojo just caveated, Napier's going there. He's going to be a great recruiter. He's going to do good on both offense and defense on both sides of the ball. Here's the thing. They only lost one game. They lost to Louisville early on, and then they kept catapulting and they built upon the duration of the season. But here's the thing. Here's what I got to say. Dan Lanning, Georgia boy. He came from under that Nick Saban tree. Man, it's hard to beat guys that have been cultured and have been shaped under a guy like Nick Saban.
Yeah, that's true.
My thing is this, man. Oregon, they're seeking revenge. They're going to come out hot on both sides of the ball. I got to go with Oregon, man. I got to go with Dan Lanning and what he has at Oregon. And he has something strong, something solid. Yeah.
It is going to require a lot of luck for JM, a little bit of luck and a lot of will. That being said, JMU is good at keeping their turnovers down. So they're going to have to in this game because every possession that they give up is probably a possession that Oregon is at least going to get a field goal on because their offense is explosive. And yes, you mentioned old Oregon, right? They're not that, right? They're not the old Oregon that used to run up 72 points, but they are Oregon in the Big Ten who, they played close against Iowa and Washington and all these teams down the stretch, but all those teams are winning teams in the Big Ten. They have a harder schedule. in the Big Ten and showed that, yeah, they struggled with Penn State. You're right, when they were, but they also only lost to Indiana by 10, and that was their only loss. So looking at all those things, you go a little back and forth. I like one thing you did say there, though, about Liberty. Liberty, we remember, Oregon absolutely blasted them, as Clubber D said, 45-6. JMU actually grades out better than Liberty, especially on defense. But again, Oregon is an elite team. Dante Moore, I'll get into this more later. As much as I don't want to see him win because he played at UCLA and then transferred, I got to take Oregon in this one. I got to take Oregon in this one. I mean, I'm thinking at least 10, 14 points at least.
What is the spread on that game?
To give you the spread, it is a 47.5. Over under. The Oregon Ducks are projected to win by 21.5. 3 touchdowns.
Woo! I'm telling you, Upstate City.
I'm telling you, listen, man, it's a tough one, man, because it's either a win by a lot or it's a close game, man.
It's my theory of, to be honest with you, they want to expand this again to more teams, and you got to have a reason to do it. And when these underdogs fight and do something, then it's going to give more of an excuse. So you know what? We need to have more underdogs in. So and more money. So this is going to, like I said, it's gonna either be the Oklahoma versus Boise State type thing, or it could be Hawaii versus Georgia.
But at the same token on that one, if JMU comes in there and gets straight hammered, then next year's stuff is going to be like, bro, do we let this smaller team in?
That's the opposite of that, right? Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's the either or. That's why we have the Tulane matchup also. The Tulane matchup is similar to this one. One of those two teams got to show up. Oh, it has to be. I don't care if they lose, but it has to be a close game. That's
a good point. Yeah, for them to want to keep putting them in. That's a really good point. That's a great segue too. Let's go ahead and move on to that game. We do have, as we mentioned, Tulane, and they are going up against Ole Miss. So Ole Miss, we know Lane Kiffin left already. We know all the hullabaloo, as they say. And he's not coaching. So they've got the interim coach in there that's going to be coaching the team. That's a lot of upheaval. Could that be an issue for them in this game? This is Saturday at 3:30 p.m. We've seen 6 rematches this season, gentlemen. In 5 of those instances, the loser of the first game all won the second. And I'm one of those people, and you'll hear me say this a couple times today, I'm one of those people that does agree that you don't usually beat teams twice. And if you're in the NFL and you do, it's definitely you don't beat them a third time in the playoffs. It's like you learn kind of thing. So with that being said, these two teams have played already this year. When Ole Miss beat Tulane back in week 4, exactly, Canteen. Thank you so much. So we're gonna see this again. I'll give you the spread first, real quick, so we can get that set up for everybody. But the spread is 56.5 is the over under, and Ole Miss is favored by 17.5 points. Canteen, we're gonna start with you on this one. Actually, let's start with Dirty Mojo first, and we'll come to you on the next.
Come on. Okay.
Start with you on Dirty Mojo on this one.
Hey, listen, man, it might be a rematch, but are we really going to call it a rematch? Ole Miss obliterated Tulane 45-10.
They did.
Correct.
This isn't Georgia losing to Alabama by 3 points and then they win. No. As much as I would want to say again the underdog story, you want Tulane to win. Ole Miss is going to beat them, and I will say this: Trinidad Chambliss is an awesome player. That game against Tulane, he had 100 yards rushing and 300 yards passing. Ooh. They gotta stop Trinidad, and I don't think that they can. This is the same Ole Miss team that Georgia had to score 17 points in the fourth quarter, to win by I think it was like 7 points, 6-7 points. So this is a scary team, and I can honestly say this: if Lane Kiffin was on that sideline along with their offensive coordinator, because he took off with them too, I think Ole Miss would have been probably the favorite to win this championship game. I mean, to win the college football championship. Yeah. I think that's why Lane Kiffin really, really, really wanted to coach it, because that team is a very good team. They're a phenomenal team. My question is this: do we get something to fight for Ole Miss, something to prove to Lane Kiffin, like you shouldn't have left us, or do we get the woe is me Ole Miss? Man, Lane's not here, Ole Miss, and they lose this game. So that's the part that I'm looking at. I cannot wait to watch this game because I want to see how they perform. Because if they do win this game, they got to go to Georgia, which, like I said, they had Georgia's ass on the ropes, 17 points in the fourth quarter. Where I mean, Canteen, you probably can agree with me. We're looking at this game, the whole game. It was back and forth. I mean, it was like boom,
offense and defense, correct. You're right.
Right.
You're right.
So you could take it with me. Had this been a Lane Kiffin Ole Miss coming into Georgia, I would be like worried. I'm not even worried, man.
Yeah. You want me to go and jump in now, Professor?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
hey man, so here's the thing. Tulane lost to Ole Miss 45-10, but here's the thing. Pete Golding ended up stepping in, becoming the head coach, kept some of the staff, retained all those guys, man. I think Ole Miss is gonna make a statement. They're good on both sides of the ball. You know, as Dirty Mojo said, the deep offensive coordinator left. All these things happen. But then I look at Tulane and where they're at, man. They play like South Florida, Memphis, East Carolina, UTS. So, man, my whole heartburn against the whole CFP is how do you allow teams like this? And I don't want to go too far to deep end, but you miss teams like Notre Dame, but Notre Dame's not in the conference. But I will say this, man.
That's a problem.
Here's the thing. If Ole Miss shows up, I think they're going to put up big numbers. I think they're going to do good. And I think that Lane Kiffin is an afterthought at this point. He's an afterthought. I think that they got the right guys, the head coach in the seat, retain some of the staff until the game is over, until the season's over with. I think Ole Miss is going to do good. I think they're going to do well, man.
Well, I'm sorry.
I don't.
No, you're good, bro.
Lane Kiffin would have been an afterthought, and he was, but you know what the media is good at doing.
Right.
The media is going to be talking about this, and you cannot unhear it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hear about Lane Kiffin, this, Lane Kiffin, that. So the coach is going to have to do a really good job on keeping that shit out of their fucking locker room.
Golden, definitely.
Social media, no question.
He has to do that, and if he can do that, this team is a very, very talented team, man. They can win it all. They can win it all.
And the thing, Dirty Mojo, I like about it is you took the defensive coordinator, put him in the head coaching position. That's why I think he's going to thrive.
Yeah.
But as we go back to it, I mean, you look at JMU and Tulane. I mean, we'll talk about this at the end, I guess, Professor. But it's some things I got to say about that too. But we can go ahead and move forward though.
Let's get a comment here at the Bottom Line Sports Canteen. Your brother Flo tuning in. Ole Miss struggled to beat Arkansas and Washington State. I mean struggled. Okay, I mean you're not wrong. Every team is going to have tough games, but that is a fact. Now the good part about that is both of these teams have been good in one-score games. Tulane was 5-0, and as Dirty Mojo just mentioned, the only loss that Ole Miss had by one touch or one score was Georgia. They're 5-1. So both these teams are really good in close games. Problem is, it ain't going to be close because look, the new coach is Pete Golding. He was their defensive coordinator. So their defense is just going to be as dominant. And by the way, just to let you know, they weren't as dominant as the offense. The offense is number 18 in the country, but the defense was number 40 in the country out of 132 or 26 or whatever it is. So, Clubber D, what are your thoughts on this game?
Just to touch on Notre Dame real quick. I know they're mentioned, but they got out the 44 strength schedule, and they lost the Miami game. So tough.
That's
darts.
what killed them.
Tough darts. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is what it is. But I'll say this. I feel kind of like what Dirty Mojo said. We're going to get the other half of Ole Miss. Like the fans feel the venom. Everyone's pissed off that Lane just left and took his people. So now it's time to prove that we belong and we don't need you. Okay. So I feel like similar to another Trinidad. Don't believe me, just watch because it's going to be a butt whooping on Tulane. Okay. I mean, it's going to be belt to ass and it might be with the buckle too.
But Professor, check this out too. You know, a lot of people haven't talked about this because it's being overshadowed. Let's not forget the Tulane coach took off too. He's the next Florida coach, but they're allowing him to coach in the playoffs.
Right.
That to me is one of those things too where I can't stand the fact that the NCAA is allowing coaches to take on another position while they're still coaching a team. We talked about this. I hope that the NCAA changes those rules and they get rid of that. You can't talk to these coaches until your season is officially done. because it's ridiculous to me. But I'm interested to see what he does there for the Tulane game. I think Ole Miss is going to rout these guys. I don't think Tulane has the firepower.
They don't.
45-10 and then come in there. And absolutely right, Dion. That venom is going to be there. Now, we can look at the committee and say, this is a pretty funny thing because I, for one, I do believe that Notre Dame should have been in the college football playoffs. I think Alabama shouldn't have been in it, but that's another story. We'll talk about that here in a few when Alabama comes. It has to go with money. But I think the committee set this up to have it so that they can beat a team to kind of push it in fucking Lane Kiffin's face. Like, look what you could have did. Because they could have been playing right now. They should have been probably playing Alabama at the 12th seed or even Notre Dame at this seed right here. But they're not.
You made a good point. You made a good point.
That would have given them a better fucking matchup.
You made, and not to cut you off, Professor. He made a good point. It's like, how do you decipher? How do you slate this thing to be right? Right? A three loss Alabama team gets in, and yeah. I know 3-loss blowout in the SEC championship game. Too. Right.
They didn't even move down one spot. Ohio State lost. I'm going to get to it. Ohio State lost.
And they moved
goal, and they moved down one. They moved down one. They moved down one spot.
From 1 to 2.
Yep. These motherfuckers got blown out and didn't move a spot. That's bullshit to me. I'm sorry.
Speed ain't moving a spot. The Omar frozen stuck in the snow. Yeah, no, I agree, but we all know what's money. We all know it's money.
Yeah, it's all that bread.
Yeah.
Show, man.
100%.
All right,
got that Bermuda Triangle internet going on right now.
Amelia Earhart, he said what up to her last week.
Amelia Earhart.
got the Bermuda Triangle going on. They both get mollywopped. I agree. Look, when you come from the Sun Belt like JMU does, Canteen, because that's what you asked earlier. You come from American like Tulane does. Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
No, he said who got mollywopped?
Oh no, he's saying both of them are going to Tulane and JMU.
So he said they're both gonna get mollywopped.
No, he was talking about Notre Dame or what's called get mollywopped by. I thought he was talking about Notre Dame. I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know.
So what I'm saying is that's why you incorporate a team like Notre Dame, but Notre Dame got to be viable and be a part of a conference because it's crazy how Notre Dame can do whatever in football, but in the ACC for basketball, it doesn't make any sense, fellas. It doesn't.
You can't be in a cookie jar with red paint on it and not get in trouble for that. You're ruining all the other cookies.
There you go.
They talked to the Big Ten, and the Big Ten said you're either in both or not at all.
You either is or you ain't, man. You got to make a decision.
No, the Big Ten told them you're not going to be in the Big Ten for football, but
I'm original with my analogies. I just make them up, all right? They just sound good in my head.
Oh my god, that was literally red-handed. No, you're right though, right? So when you're looking at Notre Dame, they need to be in a conference. There should not be any other independent schools unless you're a military academy. That's the only reason.
Navy and Air Force are in.
Sure, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
I'm fine if you put them in a conference too. I'm just saying they should be the only ones that should be allowed to. Notre Dame needs to be in a conference. It's their fault that they didn't, and because they lost to Miami in that first game, had they been in the ACC and played the same schedule as Miami
and been in the ACC championship, they would have been viable.
Look, they don't want. We all know they ain't sharing that NBC money. That's all them. They got their own.
Like you said, it's about that
money. None of that. Y'all can kick rocks and count them on the way down the street. I ain't sharing none of that NBC money. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
And so, when we're looking at this again, everybody said it's going to blow out. I do think that Tulane will, I want to say closer, but not even closer. It's still going to be a blowout. But at least I think they're going to play them better this time around because of all the upheaval that we talked about, because of the roller coaster that the Rebels have been on with Lane Kiffin leaving, with them instituting the defensive coordinator, with Trinidad getting better, Trinidad Chambliss as the year has gone on. I mean, this is a team that is not as explosive as last year, but still very, very explosive and can win and will win without Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
All right, cool. There you go. Let's take another look at this bracket here. We're going to move you into the next game. So we are going to talk, what would y'all like to talk first? Auburn, Oklahoma, or Miami, Texas A&M? We'll do a little poll.
Just go ahead and go Alabama, Oklahoma.
Yeah, team, since you're a Georgia fan, you get the Alabama, Oklahoma, baby. So we're going to start off here. It is the number 8 Oklahoma Sooners playing at home versus number 9 Alabama. Two blue blood programs here, but as of the past couple years, had a little bit of a stumble, right? Oklahoma had a couple down years there. Alabama last year had a retooling year, still kind of working through this year, as was mentioned by Dirty Mojo and UCAN team. 3 wins, maybe shouldn't have even been in the playoffs. But I did say all season that there would be a team with 3. I just figured one of the big conferences going to.
So, Professor, I will caveat on what you just said, man. Three losing teams ended up getting in, man. You had a Alabama team that lost to Florida State. They ended up losing to Oklahoma, and then ended up losing to Georgia.
Another game that we talked about that was played already, that we're having a rematch, right?
So Oklahoma had already beat them head up, man.
23-21.
Here's the thing, man. I mean, when we look at the CFP, it's about money, ratings, and different things like that. But here's what I'm gonna say, man. I think Oklahoma's gonna show out at home. I like Brent Venables. Brent Venables is a product of Dabo Swinney out of Clemson. Man, Alabama is kind of like a borderline type of team for me. They're good on both sides of the ball, but they don't capitalize and make things happen when they need to make happen. I'm going with Oklahoma with the upset. I'm going Oklahoma with the upset, and I'm going Oklahoma with the upset at home.
Yeah, I got you. It's technically not an upset because they're the higher seed, but yes, I do understand. What you're saying.
At home, yeah, that's what I'm going with, man.
Just to let everybody know, there to update them on Oklahoma Sooners have the number 7 defense in the league, so their defense in the country
it's solid,
is elite. But John Mateer was injured for a lot of the season when he had surgery in his thumb. The offense is only 93rd. That's not so great, right there. But it's the same with Alabama. When you look at Alabama, their offense is a little better, number 69 in the country, but their defense is a little worse, number 20 in the country. So 2 very, very tough defenses going head to head here. Clubber D, what say you?
Well, I think this is going to be the game that's going to make a lot of people happy. All the Alabama haters that are mad that they were in there, I feel that they are going to be very joyous at the end of this, at the outcome of this. I got Oklahoma, and it's going to be that defense that's going to win them the game. Kind of like how when Georgia beat them. When Georgia beat them, that stat came out that every time they had a punt blocks, they lose the game. So for some reason, I think something like that might happen in the first quarter, and that's going to set the tone for the rest of the game. I'm going with Oklahoma, and all the Alabama haters are going to be happy, and all the Alabama sexuals are going to be angry.
And there's two Ty Simpsons that we saw this year, right? After they had that dud against Florida State, Alabama ripped off 8 straight wins. Why? Because in his first 10 games, he had an 80.6 QBR, 67% completion rate, 7.4 yards per drop back, and an 81.1% catchable pass rate. But in his last 2 games, he has completely cratered, and it had a 55 QBR, 51 completion rate, 3.7 yards per drop back, and 70% catchable pass rate. So his footwork and accuracy have been utterly disgusting the past few weeks, and especially, as y'all mentioned, against your Georgia Bulldogs, Dirty Mojo, in the SEC championships. Talk to us about what you think about this.
Minus 3 yards rushing. Let's just start there.
Minus 3
yards rushing against Georgia, the Georgia Bulldogs. And you can watch. Hey, listen, I'll tell you like this. I'm going with Oklahoma here too. Oklahoma's defense is on fire. Those boys are moving all over the place. They're fast, they're physical. And check this out. The 2 teams that they lost to were Texas, the Red River Shootout. That's a big game every fucking year.
Right.
I mean, what are we going to talk there?
Right. That's not always
I throw the record out of the window with that one. And then they lose to the other team that we were just talking about, Ole Miss. After that Ole Miss game, they had Ole Miss. They had to go to Tennessee and win. They went to Alabama. Alabama scheduled them as their homecoming and win. They had to go. They played Missouri. They played 5 ranked teams in a row. Then they had to finish the season against LSU, and they beat LSU. Oklahoma is a damn good team. Their offense doesn't do very much, but that defense is fast and physical. I see the same thing. I do believe in the man who presses the buttons, and I do think that there are a lot of people that are saying this fucking Alabama team should not have been in there, right? I do believe that there's going to be a lot of calls going one way to get these guys out of there because nobody's seeing anything.
Theory.
I don't want to say that. Because Alabama already lost to Oklahoma, but you guys are absolutely right. The way that they finished their season against their rivals in Auburn, and like I said, you can throw the records out the window, but he played horrible. Ty Simpson played terrible that game. Against Georgia, he played terrible against them. Now you're going up against Oklahoma, who's had, 3 weeks now to prepare, 2 weeks to prepare for you guys? Oklahoma's going to go in there and punch them in the mouth. And this is in Oklahoma. This is in Norman. This isn't in Alabama like the
Tuscaloosa. That's right.
This is it. I got Oklahoma winning this game. I got Oklahoma winning this game by 10 points. Give me 30-20 Oklahoma.
10. Okay, 30-20 Oklahoma. You know what? I'm with y'all, brothers. We're making it the fearsome force, and we're all going to agree on this because I think that it's a tale of two teams, and we talked about it earlier. The quarterback situation has basically been the same, except one was injured in the middle of the season, the other one just sucked for a little bit. While both of their defenses are really good, this is going. I don't know if it's going to go that high, Dirty Mojo, just because I think it's going to be a little more of a defensive battle. I think it'll be closer to the score of the first game, like a 24-21, 21-17 kind of thing. Because I just don't trust Ty Simpson, especially after that horrible showing against Georgia in the SEC championship, to do anything against this elite Sooners defense. The Sooners rank 16th in red zone opponents TD rate. So they are very tough in the red zone. Alabama, I mean, what are you going to do? Kick field goals and keep up? Oklahoma's offense isn't that great, but John Mateer, I'm taking over Ty Simpson all day, every day. Give me Oklahoma. Let's go 24-21, something like that.
Is Jam Miller playing too? Because he didn't play against Georgia, right?
What was that? I'm sorry.
He didn't play against Georgia. Yeah. He did.
No, so I mean, is he going to be healthy? Is he playing? I don't know. So I mean, that's a big thing too. But I mean,
yeah. No doubt. Yeah, definitely a big factor. We'll have to check and see what the injury report looks like on that one. But yeah, that's a cool sweep right there. We all picked Oklahoma in that one. So let's move on to the next one. We have Miami versus Texas A&M. So here you got Miami again. The ACC's only representative. ACC had a down year, which did not help in their argument.
We'll be back
for wanting. Maybe you will, but I'm just saying it didn't help in their arguments for wanting to have automatic entry into the college football playoffs as the Big 10 and SEC try to move other conferences out. But ACC did get Miami in. They do have a 10-2 record. They did beat Notre Dame, as we talked about. Look, they're not a bad team. They just aren't good late, and they make bad mistakes, and they also play too slow. But that all being said, they have the number 26th ranked offense in the country, which is good, and they, like Oklahoma, have a very elite defense, number 8 in the country. Clubber D, what you got on this one?
Man, Miami has that kid Tony, who is that guy's ridiculous. He is
freshman.
Man, as a freshman, like he is just something out of this world. And obviously, we all know about the quarterback coming from Georgia back, but like you said, Professor, the defense is very good, very good defense, but it's inconsistencies on offense. You know how much they can give Tony the ball, and it was going to have to cue in on him and take him out the game, make him not a factor, make Beck beat them, and I think that's what they'll do because I think A&M is just a better team overall. So I have Miami, fighting close for probably the first, maybe the second quarter. Then it's going to be a rout. I think starting in the third quarter. I got A&M.
Shout out AL. I'll start with AIL. Says should have put Texas over Bama. Like Clubber D said, a lot of in response, a lot of people would like that, but let's be completely honest. They did not play well for a lot of the year. They struggled, especially the offense and holding. I mean, the offense really held Arch Manning down there at the beginning of the season, especially his blocking when he was pressured all the damn time. So I don't necessarily agree with that, but they should be in contention again next year. All right, cool. So looking at this, because I forgot to give the spread on this, Dirty Mojo, before I come to you, so let me give you the spread. It is a 50.5 is the over-under. Texas A&M, as Clubber D just picked, is a 3 8-point favorite. What say you?
I don't like the way Texas A&M finished against Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very poor showing of them. They, as far as kids are outside listening to music. I was like, what's that sound? As far as that Texas game, that showed me a lot. I really wanted to see them go in there and stamp it and just completely obliterate Texas so that we wouldn't have had to get comments like Texas should have been in over Alabama. Because Texas is not a good team this year. They need to be exactly where they're at, playing, I think, Michigan in what is it, the Cheez-It Bowl? I don't know. But
what? Cheez-It.
But listen, Marcel Reed is going to have to step up today. Up in this game. Marcel Reed is going to have to step up. He's going to have to do this. We do know that Beck has been there. This is the playoffs. Beck has been, he was with Georgia for the last couple of years. Aside from them getting snubbed out of that one when they lost to Alabama in the SEC championship and missed that playoff game, he is a person that knows what he has to do. Had he not got hurt last year in the SEC championship game, he would have carried Georgia through the playoffs. Then also, man, as far as that is concerned, in my opinion, when you have that type of player who's been in that type of atmosphere, he can propel them. I got Miami winning this game. I think Miami is the better team. A lot of people were talking about Texas A&M and how their schedule. It was a big thing, especially from the Big Ten. Like, look at who Texas A&M played. They didn't play anybody, and this, that, and the third. The only thing I will say is that Miami does have 2 losses. The one loss against SMU, and then the one loss against Louisville. Remember that game that they lost to Louisville? Louisville ended up jumping into the ranking, and Louisville was a pretty good team. They fell off towards the end of the season, but I got Miami winning this game. They're going to. Texas A&M is going to need Marcel Reed. They're going to need the 12th man. They're going to need a lot of people, but I don't think that they can keep up with Miami. And you're right, Dion. That fucking kid, Malachi, that kid is phenomenal, man. I cannot wait to see him go against Ohio State. That him and the sophomore receiver there,
Williams.
Oh, that's going to be.
Okay, yeah.
Watch Miami, Ohio State next week. I got Miami winning this game. Yes.
Yeah, and we talked earlier about the rankings of Miami, right? Really good elite defense, solid offense. Texas A&M is not shabby either. Their offense is actually better, right at the same level, number 21 in the country, but their defense is a little worse at number 34 in the country. Still a really good defense, just not elite. But the Aggies went 11-1. They did play in the Big 12. Their lone loss was the regular season finale at rival Texas.
Aggies were SEC.
Huh?
Aggies are SEC.
Thank you for that. Yes, you're correct. But they're still rivals, or they used to be. So that game is kind of like the Red River rivalry that you mentioned earlier, right? You kind of throw the records out because both teams are going to try to play their hardest in that game to try to get that win. You also mentioned
but Texas A&M was not in that game at all, though. They just did not look good. You could say Alabama, Auburn, those games, they were in the games. The games was like Texas A&M did not look good at all in that game. Don't care if it's the records or not.
I think you should, and I agree, probably by that end of the season, you probably should have more things in order. But at the same time, I guess you could say you can have one, bad loss throughout the season and it not hurt you that bad. But anyways, so Canteen, when we are looking here at Texas A&M versus Miami, what do you have?
So Miami had 2 losses, man. SMU, Louisville, right? So when we look at the full spectrum, man, Cristobal, I think Cristobal is head coach, right? Mario Cristobal.
Yeah.
Then Carson Beck, former Georgia guy, man. Under the circumstances of how Carson Beck left or whatever he did, it's cool. I'm going with Miami, man. Mm-hmm. And I like Mike Elko. I like Elko. Elko came out of Duke. Elko good dude. Mm-hmm. I think Miami gonna make a statement to catapult them to get where they need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned Mario Cristobal. He really needs this, right, after his failure.
Yeah, absolutely.
At his previous 2 stops. Both of these teams, again, we talked defenses. Ruben Bain was at one point projected to be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, still projected to be top 5 ACC Defensive Player of the Year, just a fucking beast. You mentioned Carson Beck. Beck experience.
Georgia boy.
Has played in a lot of big games. He has that big game experience. you as well. Dirty Mojo talked on the Texas A&M side. Marcel Reed, right? Quarterback, the one that has gotten a lot of hype. He was also in the Heisman race there for a little bit, played really well. But really, the person we need to be looking at that from that team is their receiver, KC Concepcion, who has just been fabulous this season and has really been the one that had, I don't want to say carried, but definitely helped Marcel Reed reach that status where he was at. And so, yeah, I am going with you two gentlemen, and I am going with Miami.
I'm the only one. I like it.
I think that Miami wins this game. You know, they started the season off beating 3 ranked teams in a row. So, you know, I think they close it out with the experience on the team, the really good defense. I think it's going to be a very close game. We talked about the spread there. I don't know. I'd say probably a 27-24 kind of game for Miami in a victory. So that's what I'm saying there. And by the way, I did not give the spread and over under for the last game. My apologies. So for everybody that wanted to know, Alabama is a 1.5 favorite on the road. And under over is 40.5. So a low scoring game there is what they predict.
Huh.
All right. We're awesome. Well, there you go. We are through the first round. I hope y'all are enjoying so far. Make sure you hit that like button. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Hey, Matthew, my brother. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, sir, Jersey boy. We know it. Hope you're doing well. Keep your eye on Justice Fitzpatrick next year in Georgia.
Oh, I love him. Yes, Amika Fitzpatrick. I love that pickup for us, man. I love that pickup for us, bro. But I wonder, is he going to play corner or is he going to play safety, man? That's the one thing. What do you think?
Corner. Corner.
He played corner in high school, right?
Now I played corner in Georgia. Corner at Georgia. Corner.
Mm-hmm. I love that pick, man. I love that pickup for us, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. There you go. Yeah, I mean, when you have that pedigree in there, that's awesome, bro. Yeah, when you have that pedigree in there in your blood, you know, you're usually going to, not always, we saw Michael Jordan's son, but usually you have a better chance to be
Marcus Vick.
Marcus Vick, yeah, right.
Marcus Vick was good. He was good.
I think that was more I think that was more like a Ja Morant kind of situation.
Oh, I loved him at Tech, but it's just, you know.
All right, cool.
With Miami, couldn't do it.
So that gives us the first round. And again, while we're going through, we are picking the brackets. So now I'm going to show you the 2 brackets that I do have from Clubber D and myself. So let me remove that one and put that up there. There you go. So let's show these a little early. You're going to hear our picks anyways.
Oh, yeah.
But as you can see, we got some other games coming up. So depending on who was picked in the first round, gentlemen, you're going to have to move that yourself over because I'm not doing that for you. But this is just to give you a shot at what you're going to see. All right, cool. So starting off in that first game, we all picked Oregon. So we all know Oregon. Or no, sorry, Clubber D picked JMU. So JMU for Clubber D. So you have JMU versus Texas Tech, and we have Oregon versus Texas Tech. So since you're the lone one with JMU, we'll start with you on this one. JMU versus Texas Tech. Who is your pick?
Okay, first of all, I like a little story with my stuff. First, JMU used to be in the same conference as George Mason in the CAA. We played them in basketball all the time. This is 20-year anniversary of Larinaga taking the George Mason to the Final Four. This is JMU's chance to do the similar thing in the college football playoffs. But they will lose against Texas Tech. They will lose against Texas Tech in a close competitive game to prove that these underdogs deserve to be there, okay? So I'm going with Texas Tech, but I'm just saying this is the anniversary of George Mason doing the same thing, and they were in the same conference. That's the only connection I got. And shout out to Tony Skinn, the current coach of the Patriots at George Mason. But I'm going with Texas Tech.
Shout
They're
out
doing this for Mahomes' new ACL.
The Final Four Patriots. There you go. I love that. That was a great memory.
What?
20 years
All
ago.
right.
Shout out to Dale the Snail. Hooking us up with
Dale
tickets all the time.
Snail, the team manager.
Damn right. Just go to games all the time. Shout out to Snail.
All right, cool. And since we all have Oregon versus Texas Tech, Dirty Mojo, we'll start with you. Who is your pick in that game?
I said this last week. I watched that Texas Tech BYU game, and God almighty. That was the first game I watched Texas Tech play. And I said, yo, this team is off the fucking hook, man. Those dudes could fucking play. I like Texas Tech. I like Texas Tech beating Oregon all day long. I got to have a little bit extra time to watch, get their guys healed up. But here's the thing. Texas Tech's lost to Arizona State. And that's the only loss they had. And their quarterback did not play in that game. He didn't play in that game, right?
Good point.
So you look at that. That was what they probably played, 6 games, 7 games after that? They've only allowed one team to score more than to score double digits against them. I see this team and I'm like, holy shit. I am looking forward to, I don't want to project. I'm looking for that high-powered offense of Texas Tech winning this game, playing Indiana. I can't wait to see that game. I got Texas Tech winning this game. But like I said, the only loss that they had, their quarterback did not play in that game against Arizona State, and they barely lost that game. I got Texas Tech winning this one against Oregon. I got this game being a very good, fun game to watch. I got this game 42-38. Texas.
Yeah, because we don't have spreads on that game's out that far, so I can't give you that. But thank you for the score. Anyways, James Madison, that's a high-scoring game. You're right. I can't wait to see that. I hope it is. James Madison, by the way, just to let go ahead.
No, I'm saying I like Texas Tech. I like them. They look good.
There you go. Just to let everybody know, James Madison, in their yards per play rankings that we've been giving you, is number 23 on offense and number 4 on defense. So JMU, much more elite defense than you could sometimes see on the tape. Texas A&M, on the other hand, or Texas Tech, excuse me, on the other hand, is going to be ranking at number 23 on offense and number 3 on defense. So 2 elite defenses here and 2 offenses that are just around the same, pretty good, but not great. What do you say on this one, Canteen?
So we got who do we have on this one, Professor?
You got Texas Tech versus Oregon.
Yeah.
Man, Texas Tech gonna slaughter Oregon. Slaughter them. Slice the head off the. Here's the thing, man. I love anybody that comes out of SEC. I love Dan Lanning, but Texas Tech, they got something different. Lubbock, Texas, it's something separated. Offense, defense, they're different. I think they're gonna make a statement. And what's the conference, Professor? What is Texas Tech conferences?
The Big 12.
Texas Tech is in the Big 12.
Yeah.
So it's like Colorado, all those guys.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They ran through all them guys. They ran through all of them.
Yeah,
like
when you're
sick, man.
Okay, yeah. When you're looking at an Oregon team, which is again ranked number 9 in offense, number 6 in defense, top 10 in both. That's again pretty spectacular, especially coming from a Big 10 where you have to play all of those better teams. Not that the Big 12 doesn't have decent teams, they do, but I mean, I think we all can agree that the Big 10 was the best conference in the country this year. And when you
said Big 10, you said Big 10, right?
Big 10, yes, that's correct.
Yes, sir. You're correct. You're correct, Professor. You're correct.
And even though I am upset that Dante Moore transferred from UCLA, he is great, and he's been playing like a former 5-star recruit. He had 24 touchdown passes, only 6 interceptions, completing 72.5% of his passes. And this is his first real starting year because he redshirted. He barely played in UCLA, and then he redshirted last year in Oregon behind not Bo Nix. Who am I thinking of from Oregon? It wasn't Bo Nix.
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel. Thank you, sir. All right, cool. So when you have that and you put that all together, you have the continuity. You have Dan Lanning, as Canteen mentioned, a really good coach. It's gonna be a close game. I'm not saying Texas Tech is bad in any way. They wouldn't even be ranked number 4. They were bad, but I just think that Oregon is what happened.
Nothing.
No, you're good.
Go ahead and say it, Dirty Mojo. Go say it.
No, it's not me. It's not me.
Let Professor go ahead.
I don't know what happened. Maybe I froze. I'm not sure. Anyways, so Texas Tech does have, as mentioned, a really good defense. Just like look, Jacob Rodriguez, just like Ruben Bain, is projected to be one of the top picks in the NFL draft. Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, led the team with 117 tackles and 7 forced fumbles to go with 4 interceptions.
Yeah, isn't Texas like in the top 5, something like that, with turnovers? Like they're a turnover fucking machine defense, man. Their defense is, they swarm, they hit, they intercept, they fumble. They're a really good defensive team, man.
That being said, I'm going with Oregon. It's going to be a close game. I do agree, but I am going with Oregon over Texas Tech. So I'll be the lone one on that.
Flo might cry.
Okay. There you go. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get to the next game. Let me bring this bracket back up so I can see what I'm working with here. So next game down is Alabama versus Oklahoma. We all picked Oklahoma, so that means we all have Oklahoma going up against Indiana. Dirty Mojo, we're going to start with you on this one.
Look, the Indiana, saying that was a huge win that they had of Ohio State, winning the Big Ten championship for the first time in school history. I look to them to basically to get back to what they're known for doing, which is scoring a lot of points. Now, they will be going against a really, really good, like we said, the number 7 defense in the country, Oklahoma. But I think that the Heisman Trophy winner, Mendoza, is going to have that team back to where they need to be. I have them winning this game.
Okay.
I do believe I'm going to say this. I don't think that Mendoza should have won the Heisman Trophy, but never where he won it. I do have them winning this game. I have this game as a similar game to the game against Oregon at 30-20 for Indiana. I don't because Oklahoma has a really good defense. I don't think there'll be too much of a blowout. And like you said, we don't know what the spread is going to be, what the over under is, or anything like that's going to be. But we have to mention last year that all 4 of the bye teams came in out of that bye they lost. So, with us picking Texas A&M winning, well, some of us did. You picked Oregon. I think that those teams will be rusty. I will say that even with the Georgia game that we got coming up next and the Ohio State game, I think teams will be rusty compared to the teams that are going to play tomorrow and this weekend. So even with that being said, I still like Indiana to win this game 30-20.
All right, Indiana 30-20. Look, Indiana is no joke, y'all. We know that they're a basketball school, but for some reason, this basketball school is the number 1 football team in the country, and it's because they played a very good game in beating Ohio State there in the Big Ten championship. They ranked number 7 on offense in yards and number 12 in defense, so almost close to top 10 in both categories. So, a very good team there like Oregon. They beat Oregon. They beat Penn State in a gutsy game that you talked about, Dirty Mojo. They beat Iowa even in a close game. They beat Illinois. So, they went through the who's who in the Big Ten, and they've got Fernando Mendoza, who is probably going to be the number 1 pick in the draft for all.
Raiders.
I do have a question. Hold on, I do have a question real quick, Canty. Give me 1 second.
Go ahead, bro.
Are these games are they at the stadiums?
These are the
so they're in a they're not
neutral,
okay.
Neutral
okay, they're neutral fields. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, all right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's only the first round, which I let's just go into this. I think that's stupid. If you want to make it so the home fans can see and you have more attendance because bowl game attendance is down, then make it the first 2 rounds where you play at home. So the bigger play at home too. Because if not, then you're just letting them go play at a neutral site game. People got to pay money, travel to New Orleans, Miami, or whatever, instead of just letting them watch it at home. So if you're going to do that, make it the first 2 rounds.
It would have been nice. Yeah,
I can see that.
So now we're going to you, Clubber D. What are your thoughts on this game?
I'm gonna chalk it down to coaching. I love Indiana's coach, and he made them. He basically put them where they are now, and after he left JMU, put them where they are and where they're still at. I'm agreeing with Dirty Mojo on this 100%. I'm going with Indiana. Obviously, I got them going all the way, but I don't know the score, but I'm gonna go Indiana on this one.
There you go, Canteen. What do you got?
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. It's all about building a brand and building a product. Indiana coach, where was he before he came to Indiana?
JMU.
It's all about stepping on the stepping stone ladders, building. That's how you win, Professor. That's how you win. You start from the bottom and you get to the top. And I'm not talking about Drake or none of that. But what I'm saying is you build a brand. Indiana's solid. Now, who said somebody the quarterback going the first round in the draft?
Fernando Mendoza is projected to be
the number one pick.
Yeah, he is. In some mocks, you know. It could be him. Could be a defensive player, like, you know, if for some reason, let's say Tennessee were to get the first pick, they're not drafting a quarterback, so you know they may pick defense or offensive line or something like that. But if it's someone like the Raiders, yeah, I would fully expect him to pick somebody like Fernando Mendoza, especially because he's you know, in the Tom Brady build at least, like you know, like size-wise.
And here's what I'll say, Professor, man, building a brand, man. I like Indiana, no doubt. Mm-hmm. No doubt.
And I'm going to make it the quadfecta. Look, you know, Oklahoma, we talked about, very good defense. So I think they'll at least be able to contain Indiana a little bit. But you can only, what's the old adage? You can't stop them. You can only hope to contain them. And that's what's going to happen here. They may contain them a little bit, but Indiana should still win this by at least 10. I agree with Dirty Mojo. At least 10 points. Indiana should win this game. All right. Let's move it into the next one. Looking at this, we all picked Ole Miss, so that'll make this easy as well. Ole Miss versus the Georgia Bulldogs. Canty, we haven't started with you in a while. We'll start with you, and then we'll go to Dirty Mojo. What are your thoughts on your team?
Here's what I'm going to say right here, Professor. You're not going to beat Kirby. Kirby's a defensive mind. Pete Golden's a defensive mind. But Georgia has the total package to kick your ass.
Lex Luger.
And that's what we're going to do. Georgia going to beat them by at least 10 or better.
Okay. There you go. All right. Dirty Mojo, this is your account as well.
Listen. He said Kirby Smart is a defensive coach, and he's a defensive-minded guy. He's got that daggone right. Schumann has been having those Georgia boys flying all over the field, playing tough. I know they had a little hiccup against Georgia Tech. I ain't even going to worry about that. But they think about it like this. They held that quarterback, Georgia Tech, no rushing yards. Georgia Tech's rushing game and that quarterback been dominating all year long.
All year long.
Shut them down, okay? Here's what I got to say, though. Bobo been dialing that offense up for us. Hadn't he been canceled?
Hey, hold on. Let me jump in. Because everybody been trying to downplay Mike Bobo.
I wanted Bobo gone in the beginning of the season. But our dogs have been coming out playing football. We've been throwing the ball.
Right.
We've been running the ball. Gunnar Stockton, in my opinion, has been playing fantastic. He keeps controlling. He's not turning the ball over. He's doing what he needs to do. Georgia is going to go in against Ole Miss. And I don't care what anybody says. Ole Miss, you don't have Lane Kiffin. You had Lane Kiffin when you played him the first time and you couldn't beat him. You're sure as hell not going to beat him without Lane Kiffin. Georgia is going to win this game. They're going to dominate them just like they did Alabama. I got them winning by 14, 17 points. Easy.
Ooh, slice the head off.
Easy Ole Miss. Because I got a shocker. I got a shocker coming up.
Okay. I mean, I don't know that. Look, per yards per play rankings. Yes, Georgia is a very good team. Their offense is not as good in terms of yards per ranking as Ole Miss, but their defense is much better. So you're looking at a offensive-defensive matchup here. Defense wins championships, as they say. So if you do have the better defense, you do have an experienced coach, as Canteen mentioned, as Kirby Smart. You do have an improving offense. Yes, they rank 70th in the country in yards, but as you mentioned, down the stretch, they got better and better. Gunnar Stockton started to improve in the second half of the season. They whooped Alabama's ass in the SEC championship. What say you, Clubber D, on this game?
Well, I'm in agreement with the two brothers at the bottom and you next to me. And since it's the South, instead of belt to ass, I'm gonna say STA. That's switch to ass.
Yeah,
they're gonna. I got Georgia in this one.
Yes, sir.
They're gonna go to the tree. They're gonna pick it. My grandma used to had you dip it in rubbing alcohol. Oh, it hurt.
Pick your own foot out, right?
Louisiana. She dip that bad boy rubbing alcohol. Pop. That's what's gonna happen. Switch to ass.
Please. Yeah. I mean, I can't even disagree. I agree with all my brothers on here. Look, Ole Miss is a very good team, but I do think with what we talked about before, with all the upheaval, Pete Golding as a first-time coach, is he going to have to run the defense and have the coaching, play calling, and all the coaching stuff he has to do? That might be too much for him to handle. Georgia is perennially a powerhouse. Yes, we know that they had a stumble a little bit last year, but they've recovered just fine. And they are one of the favorites to win this whole thing, and I cannot see. Although I do think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be what I don't know what game you were talking about earlier, Dirty Mojo, but you said 42-38. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. Like a 42-38, maybe even like a 35, like a 35-31 type of game. It's going to be close, 4 points, 7 points, something like that, but Georgia does win this game.
Like I said, man, if there was Lane Kiffin on the sideline, I'd be shaking right now. I would be. I'm not even front because Lane Kiffin had Ole Miss playing really well. It is to me, college football and NFL football, if you want to think about it, it's a game of coaching. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Ole Miss's new head coach, but you're going up against Kirby Smart, man, in the playoffs, bro. I mean, it's gonna be a rocking stadium. It's
That's your buddy.
Man, golly, man. I feel sorry for him at this point.
Hey, shout out Kristen. Thank you for tuning in. Atlanta native herself. She is a Atlanta Falcon Georgia fan as well. And if you have hit me up,
follow me, Kristen. I'm a Falcons fan too. You see my thing down there. I don't know.
There you go. Follow me at Dirty Mojo. Kristen, I know you've probably texted me. I have not had the chance to answer because I am I'm out of the country right now. I'm on a cruise, as you can see in the background. So I'll hit you up when I get back to Puerto Rico. All right. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Everybody, make sure you subscribe to Ball and Buds, by the way. BALLANDBUDS. Handy QR code up there at the top. Take you to all our social media. Hit that like button, whether watching now or on the replay. Your Falcons are not doing so good. So you heard. You probably heard us talk about that on Sunday Showdown.
Or look at Google.
Beat the Bucks.
Or ESPN.
Y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy.
That's great. I know you're just kidding. Thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate the love. One love to you as well. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get back into this. So moving to the bottom game, we had Miami and Texas A&M. So let me go back to my notes to see who picked who, just to make sure I got this straight. So I picked Miami. Okay, so Clubber D was the only one to pick Texas A&M. Is that correct? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So since you were the lone one to pick Texas A&M, you have Texas A&M going up against Ohio State. Who do you have in that game?
I have Ohio State in this one. Okay, Ohio State. I think out of all the teams we talk about the rust that could possibly factor in, I feel like this might be the only kind of boring game because I think Ohio State's gonna win this in low scoring fashion. And I do like those low scoring games, but I think the other games might be very more exciting. Like besides Georgia, who's gonna put STA, but I got Ohio State in this one.
Okay, cool. Let's move it up. Dirty Mojo, what you got on this one?
No. This was my shocker. Miami's gonna win this game, guys.
Oh,
Miami is going to win.
Oh, no. We need you on the big screen for that one.
Oh,
look. This was the shocker that I wanted to put out there, man. Look, I don't want to. Look. I do know last year, Ohio State lost to Michigan in a low-scoring game, and that was before the Big Ten championship game. It was in their rivalry game. They lost in a low-scoring game, and then after that, they completely dominated everything else that they did in the college football playoffs to go on to win the college football national championship last year. As much as everybody wants to talk about Miami should not have been in and who they could have got in and what they could have got in, Miami is still a very good team that had one really bad loss, and that was SMU. I'm not going to call the loss to Louisville a bad loss. It's a good game against a good team. The bad loss was against SMU, where I think Carson Beck had like 4 interceptions that game. He played completely like shit. But I do believe Carson Beck is going to go down and go beat Ohio State. I think it is going to be a higher scoring game and a shootout game. And I think that with that experience that we talked about before, Cristobal is going to have those guys playing. Carson Beck's going to dial it in. I think it's setting up a Georgia versus Miami semifinal game.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm telling you right now.
What the fuck is a golem?
Some monster Frankenstein.
Get the fuck out of here. Why don't you get the fuck out of
Wow.
here? Get the fuck out of
Miami.
here. Stop wasting my time.
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I mean, you better hope that's right. Your pick's gonna be like the Undertaker. Gonna be in the ground. Wow. Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
I love it. I love when someone goes bold, and that is bold. Holy.
I mean,
cannoli.
I'll say this because a lot of people want to talk about schedule. I don't think that the Big Ten, they have a very strong schedule that they play in, right? You know what I'm saying? You can at me, you can come at me all you want.
When they have some of the best teams in the country, I don't understand.
I mean, who?
It's top heavy. It's top heavy. Hey, before we do that,
Them in Indiana.
hey, fellas, before you do that, I will say this. I got it set up on my phone here, but Seattle game about to come on, so we want to make our picks. I'm going to do them down before the game, so we don't sound cheesy.
So Canteen, who you got in this game?
Ohio State, bro.
Ohio State. There you go.
Easy, bro.
Liberty.
I'll be the low.
Oh,
You already picked. Yeah, you said OSU. That's right. Okay, cool. All right, perfect. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, for wagering purposes, I hope you're right for yourself. But I don't think you're right. Look, Ohio State is awesome. Number 15 in offense and number 2 in defense in yards per play. They are a team that is experienced, other than their quarterback, and even him played as a Heisman finalist that should have. So I have OSU in this game, and I don't even think it's going to be close. I'm going to say.
Omar, can you see what Ohio State's strength of schedule is for me?
Yeah, I can check it. While I am checking those strength of schedules, let's go ahead and check the next game. So if we move on to the next one, geez Louise, this is going to get hard. Maybe what we should do is, do we want to reconvene another week to do the rest?
Yes, sir.
That'll work. Yeah,
let's do that. Let's do that, bro.
Because right now it's getting way too confusing.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Okay, so that's what we're gonna do, y'all. We'll come back next week, or maybe the week after. Yeah, it'll probably be the week after. After the New Year, we'll come up right before, because these games aren't till, I believe the semifinals is the 9th and 10th of January. So yeah, we'll come in that first week of January. We'll run this again, and we'll do all the semifinals, quarterfinals or semifinals and finals in national champion.
Pre-game show for national championship game. Pre-game show.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that'll work. And then as for tonight's game, then let's move it in. We've got the Rams versus going into Seattle. Seattle is actually, or hold on, because earlier, let me check ESPN to make sure I got this right. On the over-under.
They showed him on sideline.
Seattle is 1.5 point favorites and a 47.5 point over-under. Clubber D, who you got?
Watching it right now, but I'm being non-biased. I want Seattle to win, but I feel like the Rams are going to win though, because I look at the quarterback. I trust Stafford any day of the week, twice on Sundays over Sam Darnold.
There you go, Jordan Mojo.
Hey, the way the Rams came back last week to beat the Lions, and I mean that was a fantastic game. You know what I'm saying? You can't put that past anything. And then to have the Seahawks struggle against the Philip Old Man Rivers led Colts team. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It didn't look good. It's short week for both of them. I got the Rams winning this one too. I think the Rams are the better team. But you know, who knows? We've said some crazy shit before, and the next thing you know, we're egg on our face by halftime. So, but I got the Rams winning this game.
Canteen.
Seattle by 3.
Seattle by 3. Yeah, I agree.
Seattle by 3.
I think Seattle as the home team, with the 12th man there, I do think that the Rams are the better team. But since they're playing in Seattle and it is for the division, this is a very important game, as Clubber D mentioned earlier, in terms of who wins this NFC West. And I think that Seattle needs this game. So I think at home, they pull out the victory. Very close game, probably a 3-point game. I'll probably say maybe 24-21 Seattle. All right.
A big 4th and 1. They just got a big 4th and 1. And Seattle's jerseys, like Mojo said earlier, they're not bad.
They're not bad.
They're not bad.
I saw a picture. I can't wait to see what. Isn't their helmet kind of like a chromatic, whatever look to it?
It's like a dark. It's like a dark green-ish with a silver, not like kind of grayish.
When you turn, it might change
dark
color.
green but metallic. It's very
Yeah.
They even got the painting in the middle of the field. Their logos like that. It's pretty cool. I rock with it.
I'm gonna go watch it.
And just to let y'all know, I just checked the schedule. The semifinals do start on Thursday, January 8th. So that's going to be obviously they probably have an NFL game that night too. So we could just do the same thing and go before on that day if you would like to. Either way,
me in, brother, put me in, man.
You definitely got to come back. We got to finish it off with all the bracket pits.
Oh yeah.
So that being said, also make sure that you tap in at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS on YouTube. Subscribe there because we do have Sunday Showdown this weekend. After all the day games, before the night games, we bring you all of
bring me on, man.
Also talk college. Yeah, you can come on. Yeah, we're gonna talk college football games too. Yeah, please come on. So Canteen will join us. Canteen, thank you so much for subbing in and being such a great brother of mine from the bottom line.
Man. Appreciate y'all bringing on, bro.
Make sure you tap in with Canteen and Floyd. Bottom line Sports Canteen. Sign off, my friend.
He left. I know. We know you.
Something to sign.
I'll say one thing. I know Lamar was to go. I know Lamar was to go. I'll say one thing. Anybody out there that's watching and you want to do a bracket, send it to me, Omar, Dirty Mojo. If you want to put your brackets and compare them against ours, let us know before the shit starts. I don't want no shit on Sunday, okay, about your brackets, all right?
And he already forgot ours, so it doesn't matter anyways. So it'll be good.
I'm not sure if they're watching, but you know what I'm saying, if I it just happens to go around. I want to give 2 shout outs to 2 young men that I've coached in high school and middle school. One is for Nate Evans. He plays for the Delaware Blue Hens. They ended up winning last night. He had that interception in the end zone. I'm very proud of that young man. You know what I'm saying? I coached him. We coached him at Corporate Land Middle School. We won the championship. I'm so happy for you, man. Congratulations on that. And over to ODU, Jaleel Colbreth. Man, I mean, what a ride this kid has had, man, from being a gray shirt, from being told from his high school coach, not going to say any names, before he came to Ocean Lakes that he'll never be a varsity player, to be a starting linebacker for ODU. And their team went in and got that victory in the bowl game. I'm very proud of you. I'm very happy for you guys, man. Jaleel Colbreth and Nate Evans from the 757. Congratulations on you guys' bowl wins last night.
Shout out to him. He's at home. Didn't have to go too far. Shout out to Delaware, home of Joe Flacco and John Taylor of the 49ers. Let's go.
That's awesome, man. Congrats to both of them. That's a really great job done. By the way, just to answer your question, in terms of strength of schedule, I'm looking at team rankings. They have Ohio State number 2, and they have Miami at 22. So
there you go.
Oh, it was strength of schedule? They had Ohio State 2?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there you go. And Clubber D, what you got for the people?
Hey, everybody tune in. We're gonna be talking about this, chopping it up, having fun. Clubber D at YouTube. And Lamar, let me know when you want to do text me your schedule.
I know.
Anybody want to do random thoughts? Hit me, text me, okay? Because
I've been very busy this week, but I want to say we'll get one in next week. I'm gonna message you so we can do one. I can't wait to do one.
I just got the word. I got 3 days next week. We good.
Yeah, I'll actually hit you up too next week and see if I can't get one.
I am around.
All right, well, that's cool. Everybody, again, make sure you hit that like button whether watching now or on the replay. We really appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you tap in with everybody here and subscribe at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. We will see you Sunday at 7:15 Eastern. Holla.
Go Dogs. Sick 'em.
That world heavyweight float, championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure foe. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow, like Jordan after the second time he three-peated. Folks, get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will go. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Introducing the Ball and Bud 703 Boys Crew, Clubber D, Dirty Mojo, Shane Peach, and the Sports Professor. Welcome to Sunday Showdown.